Hi guys, it's Michael from the Little Metal Dog Show here, live at the UK Games Expo in Birmingham 2011. And I'm joined now by the guys from Deck Void Games for their new one, which is called Conflicting Kingdoms. Gentlemen, introduce yourselves to the cameras.
Yeah, I'm Stuart.
And I'm Chris. We're here to talk to you about Conflicting Kingdoms, which is a trading card game with a slight bit of a difference than perhaps some of the others that you may expect.
Cool, so what's the idea behind it?
Well, the idea is that it's a card game, but it's also a board game, and you actually use the cards to make a board.
Okay.
So you actually move around around the board with your opponent as well doing the same. So you're sort of mirroring each other. You're both creating that board and that environment in which your led figure will move around.
Right.
And you move around the locations. You draw up the magic, and from the locations you can play what we call abilities.
Okay.
Which may be shields or hammers, or maybe magical abilities like fireballs, or the usual sort of magic and mayhem kind of spells and weaponry and equipment. Really.
Cool. So, what's the idea behind the game? What do you need to do?
The idea is that you have an avatar. It's the first card that goes into play, and it's kind of that's you. That's all your starting stats.
That's your avatar.
Okay.
It's what you would find.
There's various different
box.
characters.
Yep.
And every avatar is a character, has their own story, and all those stories intertwined as one greater story.
Right.
So yeah, as Chris was saying, you're moving around the board,
You're sort of living out that character story.
and the board changes every time. I think it's one of the beauties of the game. Every single game you play is different.
Right.
It's going to depend on what locations you play. Because the other person could be opposite, so they play playing like that. Then you connect up.
And you're able to move on to your opponent's
Absolutely.
cards.
Locations, and you're basically playing this big, expandable, flexible board. But the overall point of the game is take your opponent down to 0 life, you win, keep your life above 0. You've got monsters, magic, and locations, I suppose.
Cool. So, what's the idea of going around? What would you do? Like, if you were to explain to me, like, how a round would play out, what would I have to do?
But turn-based, yeah. So what you do, first thing, you draw a card, just to keep the consistency of the deck. You draw your card, you then play a location from your hand, only one.
So you're expanding that board.
Yeah, it's expanding the board, one card per turn. You then would choose whether or not you want to move, so you roll a dice for this, just 1d6, no special dice or anything. And then you just move or stay where you are, and that location will determine how much magic you have available to play your abilities or your weapons or whatever. But at the same time, as well as giving you like a magical advantage or giving you that element, the mana, you give conflict points to your opponent. So they have a chance to sort of like react to your decisions. So the more magic you use and get, the more points you're going to give to your opponent. So it's like risk.
The idea is you build yourself up slowly. So you start off on a low risk, put in your low abilities, getting stronger, building up to the higher locations. And then it's not so much risk involved. You could go straight onto the high risk, get your best abilities down, but you're vulnerable to. So it's a game of progression, a game of trying to, as you say, build yourself up, get yourself going.
Yep.
What do you get as a starter set then? What do you, if you were to pick this up from here at the show, what would you
we're
need
selling.
to play?
There's 10 different theme decks, so 10 different characters. That's a set box. There's no blind buying. Every box contains the same. So there's 10 different types. So what you can actually get here is a deck.
50 cards.
Yeah, deck of 50 cards in there.
Right.
You can also get a miniature, okay, and a little accessory pack as well that goes with it. That's one person's full package there.
Right.
Okay.
So everybody would need one of those starter sets to play.
Yes.
Okay,
And
cool.
they can be 1 player, 2 player, 3, 4, even going up to 8. An 8-player game is going to be a slow game. Not my cup of tea, but you can do it if you want.
What's best? 2 to 4 maybe?
2 to 4 is
great.
a good thing. There are optional choices as well where you can go online.
We do an online,
which it's been developed at the moment where it's 1 player, so you get to test your deck before you even see another player against you. The other thing is that you only need a deck. These two, they're optional. But you will.
I mean, you do need a dice, but other than a dice, you can play with that. And a few pennies. loads of added extras, and obviously you can paint them up, customise them to your own.
Well, it's all live.
Yeah, that's fine.
So
that's
you
fine.
can paint them, you can customise them, but you just get the normal standard. And you guys have had these specially commissioned?
Yes.
Yes, they've been sculpted.
Yeah, to sort of fit the characters of the deck.
Yeah.
There will be more lead figures available. We're just trying to get the game out there, really.
So you're launching it here at Expo this
Yes,
weekend?
yes.
This is our official launch. We've sold, nothing up till now. We've just had the shipment of all the stock in. So yeah, it's an exciting day for us.
We sort of like it because it's a trading card game. It is a board game. You've got the optional, painting your little lead figure, which, a lot of people who play some of the other battle games, they really enjoy sitting down and, investing their time, painting armour and weapons and things like that. And, I think it's a nice overall sort of product that sort of everyone can sort of enjoy. If you like trading card games, you like board games, you like war games, which is another thing as well that we are trying to develop at the moment with these cards. Is a war
game version,
war style game version, which you're using the same cards. You don't have to go out and get any more, but you use them. You just use them in a different way.
Yeah.
It's just a new rule book.
Like the war gaming idea. Back to the miniatures again. I've played war games, but I find it a bit monotonous to paint, a whole army of like 20 the same thing. So having just one, you can really spend the time on it and
get the detail you want down.
Yeah. So obviously, if people aren't here at the show, how can they get their hands on copies of the game?
It's available online, deckvoid.com.
Okay.
We're in the process of speaking to a few other retailers. We've got it on eBay as well.
It's Facebook shop.
Yeah,
it's Facebook shop. Obviously, we have a Facebook page. If you want to go on there and help us out, like the page, and then you'll be able to see new picture updates. Potential cards. There's discussions about which cards work best with others, which ones are worth having, and the rarer cards. Just really trying to get that conversation going.
There we go. That is Conflicting Kingdoms, and this is Michael Fox from UK Games Expo Live. Thanks for watching.